Hello students, myself Amrita Dhar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JIS Group. I will teach you Power System 3.
In this video, I will discuss about line compensation. This topic is included in Module 4, Compensation in Power System of the subject Power System 3. Course code is EE-703A. Now to make you understand about this topic over PowerPoint presentation is quite difficult. So I will do board work to make you understand better. So let's start. In this video, I will discuss about transmission line compensation. Now the rapid growth of electrical energy consumption combined with demand for cost-effective energy and widespread transmission and distribution network has led to the development of generation sites remotely located from load center. The generation of power at remote site necessitates the use of transmission line to connect generation units to load center. Also, to enhance the reliability, lines are erected to connect several load center with generating sources to have enough redundancy. Several points of interconnection have established within the power network. This has led to the evaluation of a complex power system network with interconnected long distance transmission lines. Transmission voltages also gradually increased, and to keep pace with economics of power transmission, lines are needed to be controlled for power and voltage at different points and nodes. Until recently, active and reactive power control in AC transmission lines was exercised by carefully adjusting transmission line impedance as well as regulating voltages by generator excitation adjustment and by using tap changing transformer. At times, series and shunt capacitor or reactor were employed to effectively change the line impedance. Now, we may classify the line compensation into passive compensator and active compensation. Passive compensation and active compensation. Now, whatever be the type of compensator, an ideal reactive power compensator should have some characteristic. First, it should produce substantially flat voltage profile at any point of the power system transmission line and bus. Second, it should be capable of increasingly steady state stability limit and dynamic stability. Third, it should improve voltage stability and voltage security. And fourth, it must be capable to supply the reactive power requirements of the system in an economical way. Now, passive compensators. Now, shunt inductor and capacitor as well as series capacitor are the passive compensators. Shunt inductors, shunt capacitor and series capacitor are the passive compensators. Now, passive compensators basically modify inductance and capacitance of the line, and apart from switching, they are uncontrollable and incapable of continuous variation. Now, shunt capacitors generate the capacitive reactive power and boost receiving end voltage, thereby reducing the reactive demand of the system. They also improve the power transfer limit of the line. Other hand, the shunt inductor control the steady state overvoltage in the line during light load operation by absorbing reactive power at the node where it is connected. In some cases, these reactors are sectionalized and connected to the line at different points. And series capacitors reduces the line inductive reactance and thereby reduce the reactive burden of the line. It also enhances the real power transfer through the line and increases the steady state stability. Now during light load operation, shunt capacitor need to be switched off and shunt inductor are needed to be switched on, while during heavy loading conditions shunt capacitor are need to switched on and the shunt reactor are need to switched off. The application of shunt capacitor needs to be done carefully as it is lead to over voltage across the breaker contact following its switching operation, and capacitor will retain voltage for significant period of time and they need to discharge to the proper discharging circuit. It may lead to high frequency resonance in the system and to harmonic over voltage in the bus. Switching the shunt inductor may also create current chopping in the breaker and hence transient over voltage may appear across the breaker contact. Series compensation has also a major drawback. It may lead to series resonance in the system causing the transient over voltage. Also, series compensation is vulnerable when the fault occurs in the line after the capacitor and heavy fault current flow through the series capacitor. It may lead to high transient voltage generated across the capacitor causing the insulation failure. Subsynchronous resonance of series capacitor compensated line is another aspect that needs to be carefully studied while applying series compensation in transmission line. So first we discussed about static shunt reactor. Okay. First, static shunt reactors. Now, static shunt reactors are usually used to compensate the line voltage rise in the line as well as the receiving end when the transmission line is lightly loaded, and this phenomena of steady state over voltage at receiving end of a highly loaded line is known as Ferranti effect. In Ferranti effect, the receiving voltage is greater than the sending end voltage. The shunt reactor absorbs the reactive power from the line and if properly designed and keep a flat voltage profile in the line even when the line is unloaded, and these reactors are usually placed at interval of 60 to 100 km in long lines in intermediate substation. So we draw a diagram which shows the distributed shunt reactor in long AC line. Now this is area A and this is area B. Okay. Now these are the shunt reactors. This is the substation. And these are the breakers. Circuit breakers. Okay, and these are the shunt reactors. Now shunt reactors are commonly employed for extra high voltage line more than 150 km long. A shorter line may need a shunt reactor is supplied from a weak capacity power system, that is from a source of low short circuit capacity. A shunt reactor of sufficient size must be permanently connected to the line to compensate control of the steady state over voltage in the line during the light loading period. Now I draw a diagram to explore analytically the effects of placement of a shunt reactor in the line, and so we first draw the simplest equivalent circuit of the shunt reactor compensated and unloaded line. Now this is sending end voltage Vs, this is sending end current Is, this is receiving end, and here a shunt reactor is added Jx. This is the receiving end voltage and this is the receiving end current, and this distance is L by 2. This is L by 2 and this is also L by 2. Now at receiving end Vr is equals to J into XIR, but the sending end voltage is given Vs equals to Vr cos beta L plus J Z0 IR sin beta L. Now this equation is obtained by substituting X. Now using, suppose this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, by using equation 1 and 2, Vs is equals to Vr cos beta L plus JZ0 by Jx Vr sin beta L, and this is equals to Vr cos beta L plus Z0 by X sin beta L. Vr by Vs is equals to 1 by cos theta plus Z0 by X sin theta. Now theta is equals to beta L and theta being the line length in radian. Now in order to Vr equals to Vs, Vr equals to Vs cos theta plus Z0 by X sin theta should be equals to 1. So X is equal to Z0 1 minus cos theta into sin theta. Now suppose this is equation 3 and equation 3 gives the value of shunt reactor required to be connected at receiving end such that Vr is equals to Vs. Okay, even during no load, and since receiving end is completely inductive, no real power will transfer from sending end to receiving end. The reactive power equation can be obtained by Qs is equals to minus Qr is equals to minus Vs squared cos delta by Z0 sin theta minus Vs square cos theta. Now since no real power transfers, so delta is equals to 0, so Qs equals to minus Qr is equals to minus Vs square 1 minus cos theta by Z0 sin theta. The charging is divided, the charging power is divided equally between two halves of the line, and the voltage profile is flat at the mid end as well as symmetrical about the midpoint. The charging power is negative at the left hand and positive at the right hand. So I draw the reactive power and voltage profile for long transmission lines. This is sending end, this is receiving end, this is the midpoint, and this is the reactive power voltage profile and reactive power profile, and this is the voltage. This is plus Q, this is minus Q, this is L by 2, and this is L by 2. Okay, and the maximum voltage occurs at the midpoint and gives by equation Vn is equals to VR cos theta by 2 plus Z0 sin theta by 2 is equals to Vs cos theta by 2. The above analysis can be generalized for a long having n section and n-1 reactor for compensating the Ferranti effect. The reactors are assumed to be equal intervals to have a flat voltage profile. The value of reactors is x equals to Z0 by 2 sin theta by n 1 minus cos theta by n. Now I draw a diagram. Now this is the reactor placement scheme and the voltage profile in N section transmission line. The shunt reactor at the end of the line are twice the reactance of the intermediate ones. The shunt reactor may be directly connected to bus or may be connected through a tertiary winding of the transformer at the two ends of the line. Shunt reactors are similar in construction to transformer but have only one winding per phase on the core. Series capacitor compensation. Now a series capacitor compensator not only reduces the line reactance but also increases the line transmission remarkably as well as the steady state stability limit. It virtually increases the large surge impedance loading. However, shunt reactor may also needed to control the voltage during operation of the line at the higher load. In long distance power transmission, series capacitor are beneficial provided proper care is taken to eliminate SSR problem and to detect the series capacitor against puncture when the encountering true faults. Usually the degree of series compensation is 40 to 80% as overcompensation may give rise to high steady state voltage and very low damping in the power system. Series capacitor are placed in a lump form of in all three phases at the midpoint of the line. Now, in order to model the series compensated line, we assume lossless symmetrical line with a midpoint series capacitor, series compensator with equal shunt reactor connected at both ends of the line. So, I draw the diagram. This is sending end current, this is sending end voltage, this is V1, this is shunt reactance, this is V2, this is V2, and this is receiving end voltage. Now this shows series capacitor compensated symmetrical line. Now the sending end voltage, the voltage and current relationship at sending end half of the line is V1 is equals to Vs is equals to Vm cos theta by 2 plus jz0 Im sin theta by 2. Now this is 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 equals to jVm by z0 sin theta by 2 plus Im cos theta by 2. Now Vc is equals to V1 minus V2 equals to minus Jim Xc, and Vm is equals to V1 minus Vc by 2 equals to V2 plus Vc by 2, and Is is equals to Im plus V1 by Jxsh minus Im by JV1xsh, and Im is equals to V2 by Jxsh plus IR, which is equals to IR minus JV2 by XSH. Now if we assume Xc to be enough to keep midpoint voltage of the line at nominal value, so that Vs is equals to Vm is equals to Vr. All voltages are same. Obviously this is equals to V1 and V2. Now so at this point we can write P is equals to V square XL minus XC sin delta for whole line, and if we common XL, then 1 minus XC by XL is V square XL 1 minus KSE sin delta. Now KSE represents the degree of series compensation and is expressed as KSE AC equals to XC by XL, which is equals to XC by omega into line length into inductance of line per unit length. At no load, shunt reactor would compensate Ferranti effect, and shunt reactance connected at each side of the line would be Xh equal to Z0 sin theta by 2 1 minus cos theta by 2. Z0 is equals to root over XL minus XC by XC0. Now where XL is the inductive reactance of line, XC is the series capacitive reactance of series capacitor. XC0 lumped shunt capacitance of line, And the series capacitor compensation Z0, the value of Z0 is equals to root over XL dash by BC, which is equals to Z0 root over 1 minus KSE. With series capacitive compensation, both Z0 and beta decreases.
That's all from today's class. If you have any problem, please contact with me. My contact details is given on the first slide. Thank you.